Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions take on Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
Still nothing here in quarter one, but an early test to check in on as we've got a third down situation looming. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he... From the red zone now, Stafford. This will be caught just inside the 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you.
Time to get you back live again. This offense in the red zone as they've got it 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Okay, the highlights are going to show the guy throwing it, the guy catching it, and ended up in the end zone. But how about those big guys up front that allowed that to happen? He had a ton of time to throw the ball.
He did. A pretty big early test for the defense coming up. What can they dial up here to try and thwart this third down situation? Throwing on third down, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. It's a tight game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Coming up here, this defense looking for a third down stop in the second quarter. From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. First down, they run with Howard. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Trubisky, the screen pass here to Cohen. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a third down. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Anthony Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes from the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quick.
Time winding down here in this first half as we get you back out to the action. On first down, Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Glover Quinn came into the NFL as a cornerback, but he's morphed into one of the better safeties in the league, and he just finished this one off with that nice pick.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. Now, can this offense muster a late second quarter drive to break our tie? Let's see. They'll have to be pretty efficient with their time here. Watch the clock. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. They pitch out to Howard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. Now Trubisky on first down. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. And it sets him back for second down. And you can almost feel Trubisky saying, let's get to the line and hurry up. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. Trouble certainly brewing for this defense after that last play, as now they'll need to defend a first and goal from the 5. To throw is Stafford. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. Stafford now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they take a set. This defense in need of a big stop in a tight game in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can get that stop they need. From the gun on third down. Stafford, it's caught. Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First time they've looked his way in the keeping this offense out of the end zone has to be considered a must here, as this defense can ill afford to go 2 scores down here in the second half. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Out to the flat for Reddick. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Reddick, and that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-4. A big drive now for this offense. They'll have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they search for a late score. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit, because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
We're go. Let's go.
Again, it's Howard. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. Back to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
The margin for error for this defense is slim because a field goal would change the complexion of this game. Can they get the stop they need? He'll look to throw. Left side completion to Jones. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. He's back to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. On the ground, it's Reddick. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. And they'll get the spike off with 6 seconds to go. And that winds up incomplete. And now only 5 ticks on the clock. And likely just one final go at this now. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So here's the veteran kicker, Matt Prater. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a 3rd would win it. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a... Why would he start it down? Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So for Detroit, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So for Charles...
Want to see what happens next? Choose yes to continue playing this team's season.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Alex Smith on his third NFL team, the Washington Redskins, face off with Jameis Winston in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a minute ago, it was Jameis Winston leading his Buccaneers out of the tunnel. They're on their feet here in Tampa as the Bucs get set to match up with the Washington Redskins. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Possession of the football with the Washington Redskins. And the first drive of the game coming up. Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. Peterson, Charles, at age 33. I think when he signed with the Redskins, people were wondering what would this season be like. Well, it started off pretty good. Yeah, and you remember the reason why they're asking that question. Age 33. Last season didn't end very well in Arizona. Had some good games, but was hurt down the stretch. Didn't have those games again. But now, 96 yards in the season opener for Washington at Arizona. Comes back for 20 against Indianapolis. And then 120, a big performance against Green Bay. At his best, you're getting to Adrian Peterson, the defense's fear. Smith on third down. Hard throw, incomplete. And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Still scoreless here in the first, but a third down situation forthcoming. Let's get into the action. Throwing on third down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision. So now on fourth down, the Redskins will hand things over to their kicker, Dustin Hopkins. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. This defense already looking at a deficit on the scoreboard, but now what can they design here to disrupt this third down play? Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the 2nd quarter.
Ready. Back with the pass.
3rd and long for Winston. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Zach Brown. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Brief break in the action here. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout.
52. 35.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Fighting to stay upright. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Does Let's see what this defense can do here. Ball at the 18-yard line in the red zone. From the red zone now, Winston. He hits Rodgers in the flat. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. To the football, it's blocked. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now here's Johnson. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Well, points have been hard to come by in this one, and it's the third quarter. Defenses have reigned supreme. Can the defense reign supreme once more on third down? Let's find out. On third down, Smith. Jordan Reed has it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Well, points have been hard to come by in this one, and it's the third quarter. Defenses have reigned supreme. Can the defense reign supreme once more on third down? Let's find out. Here's Smith. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good.
A potential turning point in a one-score game. What can this defense do as they look to hold on to their second-half lead?
Ready? White 25.
They go play action here on first down. And that is caught by Jackson for a Buccaneer touchdown. Deshaun Jackson scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt, the
This defense in need of a big stop in a tight game in the fourth quarter. Let's see if they can get that stop they need. On third down, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A big drive now for this offense. They'll have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they search for a late score. second down, Peterson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Throwing is Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. They pitch it out to Peterson. And shutting him off, now open field. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They got a chance.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Levante David in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
And now running right through it. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This defense now desperate to protect their three-point lead. What can they do here? This might be the drive that decides it one way or the other.
Ready. Black 22.
They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Preston Smith in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Winston to throw. Right side caught by Jackson. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
Ready. Blue ready.
Winston. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he'll go at the 25. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Ready. Black 22.
Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, you feel... A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Washington, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles...
Choose to continue your season and play more games with your team.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the 41-year-old reigning NFL MVP, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots face off with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The whole of downtown Nashville likely still reverberating with the sounds of the Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row. So very early on in this game, first quarter, no score, and this offense hoping to change that right here and get some points on the board. And Suckup will put this one right through, and the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out. Shotgun now for Brady. Over the middle, that's taken in by Gronkowski. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the... Coming up here, this defense looking for a 3rd down stop in the 2nd quarter. On 3rd down, it's Lewis, and he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Officially a minute 54 to go in this 1st half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, the trade deadline obviously is now passed. So you look back at the number of guys that went different places. Which trade caught your eye the most?
Well, there are a few of them, and they all have...
Football turned back over to Tennessee's offense. And if you look at this season on the whole, they really, I guess, haven't gotten the kind of production they'd hoped for from Mariota, Derrick Henry. I know you've nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Hightower coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Here's Mariota, and that's caught by Smith. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Titans moving quickly here. They're in the hurry-up. They go play action. Mariota. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. from the gun. Mariota. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And Suckup will put this one right through. So if you like field goal, and now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Gosh.